Hey guys, today I wanted to do a quick unboxing of the new Dell UltraSharp monitor. The monitor is the U2713HM. Came this morning. I live in the UK. I bought it from a retailer, scan.co.uk. It's a quick tour of the box. So, made in the People's Democratic Republic of China. We have a date of birth date, so it was born a couple of months ago. It's the first revision, as this is a new monitor out. So we see here that this has got the Dell's premium panel guarantee, which I take to mean that if it's got any dead pixels in it, even one, that they will come and replace it during the warranty period. Taking you around to this side of the box, it appears we have unpack instructions. So this monitor may not be fully assembled in the box, and we may have to do some assembly of it. So in here we've got a dual link DVI cable which comes with the monitor. You've got the old style VGA cable, which you don't really want to be using with this type of monitor, as it won't use the max resolution of the monitor. And we have a USB cable, so that's a USB A to USB B, or the printer type USB cable, as this monitor has a USB hub in it, so that will come in useful. Quick start instructions, and also this monitor comes actually factory calibrated, so it's got a unique serial number of the monitor, and it shows it's been tested for sRGB, grayscale, tracking and gamma, and gives you a little pre-tuning report for this exact monitor, which is the first monitor I've had which has been factory calibrated, so see how it performs. We have drivers and documentation disc, and some more documentation there. I have my invoice. We also have a power cable. It comes with a standard power cable. As I'm aware, it doesn't need a power brick or anything like that. The power supply is held internally, so it keeps it quite neat like that. Believe that's all the peripherals out of the box. So yeah, it does come in bits. So here's the stand. First monitor I've had which is coming in parts. Normally they will come pre-assembled. So this is the bit you really got to be careful of, the actual screen itself. It's well packaged in a lot of cardboard to give it some support. So if I gingerly take this apart now. So the monitor comes with a standard mount, a Vesa mount, 10cm by 10cm. So if you wanted to swap the screen out for a monitor stand, you're able to do that. straight off the bat as well because it doesn't come assembled. Just a quick look at the base of the monitor stand. There's no active swivel in, oh yes there is. There's active swivel in the base itself. Seems to go to about 45 degrees right to about 45 degrees left. So in total you seem to have about a 90-degree swivel on the stand. The stand swivel's nice and firm. It's got a really nice, good quality action to it. The stand, you've got cable tie hole as well, so you can put your cables pass through the monitor stand so you can neaten them up. You've got some metal construction here and rubberized pads to stop it scratching your desk. So for the panel itself, so I'll just cut it there and I'll prop it up to give you a shot of the embedding of the monitor. The best way to do this is to now attach the stand to the monitor itself. So you get to see the back of the monitor first. So all you really need to do is marry these two together, insert at a slight angle and then down, and it should click into place. You've got some marking information just underneath the mount. It's nice to see that the mount has got such a nice easy installation action to it. It's a nice, good, solid lock that you heard just there, and the mount's on. So the weight of this monitor with stand is 5.6 kilograms, so it's a not insubstantial weight to the monitor. Its max resolution is 2560 by 1440, so it's a ultra high resolution display. So this is the money shot. So one of the big bugbears people had with one of the older UltraSharp screens, the U2711 and the 3011, was apparently the anti-glare coating on it was quite aggressive, and it's quite thick, and people found that in large blocks of colour that it would appear grainy and quite crystalline. Some people who had that monitor, the previous version of this monitor, thought that was fine and didn't have a problem with it. Other people did. I didn't really want to take the chance, so I went with this newer monitor which has just been released. So this is a matte monitor. It's got no gloss or glass to it. First impressions, without any lighting on it, it's looking good. It's got a very smooth rotation action, very easy to rotate there. It's also got a portrait rotation action, I believe. So again, very smooth rotation action to get into portrait mode. The stand has is height adjustable, so that's down to its lowest point, and now up to its highest point. So I'll just bring it up and put it on the desk so I can maneuver it a little bit more easily. So here's the monitor up on the desk. It's just to notice a size comparison between my other two monitors. The monitor on the far left is a Samsung SyncMaster monitor, 19 inches. The middle monitor, I've been using another Samsung SyncMaster 22-inch monitor. Next to now the behemoth on the right, which is the U2713. So there's quite a big difference there. I'll be changing the configuration over. I'll definitely be having the 2713 in the middle of the monitors there, and I guess the other monitors either side. This monitor also has a tilt, so that's it at its full level of tilt there, upwards. And it will tilt all the way back. So the controls on this monitor are situated down to the lower right hand side of the monitor. The physical buttons, they're not completely flush with the monitor, but I'd say they're raised sort of 1/4 of a mil, 1/2 a mil. The on and off switch here has, I believe, a white LED underneath it, so we can see that in action a little later on. So in the middle of the monitor here we have the Dell embossed logo. The bezel itself is just a plain matte black bezel. We've got some rounded corners. I quite like the sort of industrial design of this, very minimalist, very simple and plain really. We've got the silver accents around the monitor stand here, but that's really the only silver that you can see. There's a touch of silver just around the back of the monitor stand as well. So to the rear of the monitor we've got ventilation holes from left to right, with a large Dell logo in the middle. Back of the monitor stand is a silver finish with that cable pass-through hole so you can keep your cables tidy. Have a quick look at the monitor inputs now. We've got 2 USB 3 ports there, a USB hub connector for a USB B cable. I believe this may be a 3.5mm jack, so you can attach your headphones or your speakers to the monitor. You'll be able to get sound from this monitor if you're using the HDMI or DisplayPort inputs, as they will also take sound from your computer. You've got the HDMI. It's worth noting that you won't get the full resolution of the 2560 by 1440 if you use the HDMI, so you're better off going with the DVI or display ports, but it's good to have that compatibility for your Blu-ray players or consoles. So you've got your dual link DVI input there. If you're really stuck for connections, you can go back to the old school of the VGA connector. Last but not least, this is the connector that I'll be using, the display port connector. So this is their 12 volt power connector, so if you buy the optional soundbar for the monitor, you can draw power from the monitor itself. Then coming down, you've got the power socket, which is a standard power socket cable. You've got no on and off switch on this monitor, so if you're on at the socket, you're on in the monitor. This monitor has 4 USB 3 connectors, so the other 2 USB 3 connections are on the side of the monitor, the left hand side. These are the ones that you'll most likely be using, as they're slightly more accessible than the ones beneath the actual monitor itself. It's worth noting that this monitor isn't meant as a direct replacement for the U2711 or U3011 monitors. It's only, well, I say only, but it's using an 8-bit colour palette, which is something around the order of 16 million colours, where the 2711 and the 3011 was using a 10-bit display, which would give you in the order of over a billion colours. Personally, 16 million as opposed to a billion. As I'm not a professional level photographer or anything like that, I'll be using this for sort of business applications and a little bit of gaming. That sort of colour palette is more than fine for me. So this Dell monitor uses a panel made by LG. The panel technology it's using is AH-IPS, which stands for Advanced High Performance in-plane switching, which is one of their first advanced high performance panels available. So I think it's worth mentioning again that one of the main reasons for me purchasing this monitor over the U2711 or the U3011 was that this monitor is meant to have a light anti-glare coating. Some of the users of the previous monitors complained about the anti-glare coating being too thick, and this added sort of a grainy or crystalline effect to large blocks of colour or the white background. So I played it safe and I bought this newer model because it has a light anti-glare coating. Just setting the monitor up now. I wanted to show you guys the USB A to B cable that the monitor came with. Is a good quality cable. It's got a good thick cable sheathing and feels solid. Unfortunately, I don't have a display port cable, even though my graphics card is display port capable, so I'm going with the DVI cable that the monitor came with. Again, it seems a good quality cable, very thick sheathing, so it should do the job. So here's the monitor all set up. One of the first things I did was load up Crysis 2. I'm driving the game from Asus 670 GTX graphics card. The computer is fairly new, so it was able to play it no problem at the max resolution of 2560 by 1440. My impressions of it were the colours were extremely vibrant. While this is just the intro of the game, playing the game, I found the colours were great. I didn't have any problems with input lag or ghosting. It was really just a pleasure to use a monitor of this quality and size to game, really, and a really big thumbs up from the gaming perspective. You can access the menu by selecting any one of the 4 buttons. Will pop up the first quick launch. The first 2 options can be customized. I've got mine set to aspect ratio and brightness and contrast. If we go into menu, we'll see the main menu options. So at the beginning, we've got brightness and contrast, and we've also got an energy use meter. So the more you lower the brightness, the more obviously the energy use goes right down. Then we have input source, so if you've got multiple sources connected to the monitor, then you can jump between sources using this menu option. Color settings, you can change your input color format from RGB to YPB and PR. Gamma and preset modes. In the display settings you can change the aspect ratio and sharpness. At the moment horizontal and vertical positions are disabled, as well as pixel clock, phase and dynamic contrast, so you may need to be in another setting for those options to be available for you. This menu's got a countdown, so if you're in it idle too long it just closes itself off. That setting can actually be changed in the other settings, where you can change the menu timer or menu transparency, menu lock, energy smart and some other settings there. In the personalized settings, these are the shortcut keys, so if you change the shortcut, at the moment I've got aspect ratio selected, so if we select it back to preset modes, we can show all modes. Then when we go back to the first menu, preset modes then turns up instead of aspect ratio. So if we go and have a quick look at preset modes, we've got a choice between standard, multimedia, game, movie, text, color temp, sRGB and custom color. So it's quite an intuitive menu system. I quite like the two favorites that you can select up there, so you can make navigating the menu that much quicker. So at its native resolution of 2560 by 1440, the monitor real estate is really very impressive. It gives you a massive area which to work with. I've got 3 documents which I can open side by side, all on the same screen, and normally I'd struggle with just putting 2 side by side, but this monitor can comfortably fit 3 documents open at once. If I move the same documents over to my other screen, which is 1680 by 1050, then I can just about fit 2 of the same documents on the screen, so I've got additional room for at least another document on this Dell. So in Device Manager, just having a look at the drivers, it appears it's is using the standard generic plug and play monitor drivers. So I'll load the driver disk up and see if we can get some more specific drivers for it. So when I try to install the monitor drivers from the disk, it tells me that these monitors have been detected, but it has no drivers for those monitors. This monitor Dell 407E doesn't really make much sense, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I'll see if I can download the drivers from their website. So I was eventually able to install the Dell drivers. What I had to do is go into monitors, find the generic plug and play monitor, and right click it, properties, drivers, update driver, and then manually navigate to the drivers which I downloaded from the Dell website. Having done this, it then updates within Device Manager. I'm not sure if this will make any difference to any of the color profiles or the use of the monitor, but it now at least shows up with the name of the monitor within the Device Manager and the resolution presets. So the last thing I can show you is the software that you can install for the monitor, which is the Dell Display Manager. this is the software interface. It comes preset into auto mode, which I found quite annoying, as it's aware of what applications currently have the focus, and based on that application can change the preset modes. This can lead you to opening your browser or a Word document to find that the screen dynamically changes the color profile. So I opted to change this back to manual mode. You've got a software implementation that allows you to change the brightness and the contrasts from within the display manager itself. Auto mode allows you to preset. If you decide to use auto mode, you can set what applications will load on what preset modes. Easy arrange allows you a pre-configured structure on the screen, which will lock specific windows into that structure. So for instance, if I had a 2x2 structure and then open Notepad into those structures, they would lock in to each of those 4 zones. Personally, I don't have much use for this, but it could be useful for some people. In the options, you've got some more power saving options, so you can reduce the brightness for screensaver activation, image rotation. So some options within the display manager. For me, I believe I'll keep it just for the software implementation of being able to change the brightness and contrast to the screen. So to wrap up, here are my final thoughts on the Dell U2713HM. The advanced high-performance IPS display gives great viewing angles, colour and clarity. I found no issue whatsoever with the light anti-glare coating given to the monitor. The ultra-high resolution is great for productivity. I found the monitor to perform outstandingly for both games and videos, and didn't notice any input lag or ghosting. One of the big decisions for me to buy this monitor is that it came with Dell's premium panel guarantee, so you're guaranteed against any dead pixels at all. In the UK, Dell is giving a 3-year warranty period, so this premium panel guarantee goes across the 3-year period, but it's worth checking in the country of purchase that this warranty period is also applicable. So a big thumbs up for this monitor, and thanks for watching.